All right, we're at the top of the hour. We have a lot to cover, so I think we're going to get started on time. Welcome, everyone, to the last webinar of 2024. Excited about this one. We've got John McGowan, HubSync's CEO, and Tiffany Roussel, our Chief Product Evangelist, on the call. They have so much to talk about. I had to make sure they condensed it to 30 minutes because everyone is just so busy at this year end. So you guys need to stay true to our 30-minute agreement. There's a lot to talk about. Amazing what has gotten accomplished in 24, which we're not going to talk about today, but then what also is to come for 2025. So I'm not going to have much of a role today. This is really going to be John and Tiffany's show. What I will do, guys, though, is jump in with any questions that we get from the field. So everyone out there, and there's a lot of you, if you have any questions, just drop it into the chat and I'll make sure I can try and interrupt John and Tiffany as they go. And with that, John, I'm going to hand it over to you. Maybe give it just a couple minutes about how amazing 2024 was for HubSync, and then you all can jump right into all the great stuff that's coming. Sound good?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we had a fantastic
John,
year.
you are on mute.
I am not on mute. Let's see.
I can hear you. You're good.
Okay, good. Yeah, 2024 was a fantastic year. I see some client names in the webinar. Thank you for joining. We built a lot of technology, a lot of features. We'll talk about a little bit of what we accomplished in 24, but also talk about 25 and what we're doing there. There's a lot of exciting things that are coming. We've gone and met with a lot of the clients in person and talked about some of the great things that are coming. We'll cover some of that here. But we've continued to operate with a lot of velocity and speed. So for our clients, they know we release every 2 weeks. We have a lot of automation, both quality assurance automation, infrastructure automation, and our ability to develop very, very quickly and deploy new technology to our clients. So there's a lot to talk about in terms of what we accomplished in 24, but we're also equally excited about what's coming in 25. So Tiffany and I are going to kind of walk you through some of the accomplishments and then talk through the exciting things that are coming next year. Tiffany, I'll turn it over to you to kick it off.
Yep, absolutely. So as Betsy said, I don't have enough time in 30 minutes to talk about everything we did in 2024, as our clients can attest to that. But today is a very exciting day for HubSync because we've launched an entirely brand new tax organizer and return delivery experience. We already had a tax organizer in our product. It's been in use for years. We had a return delivery experience. This wasn't ground up, starting from ground zero work. It was really just building, accepting the feedback, listening to our current clients, listening to our prospects, and taking that into account to deliver a very streamlined end-to-end experience for our individual taxpayers. And we will talk about our entity taxpayers as we look ahead to early 2025. And we will share some screenshots around this too. With this, we focused a lot on client file sharing capability. So we did launch our new Outlook plugin along with shared links. It's in use in practice as of recent, and we've received nothing but very positive feedback. The third thing I do want to talk about is our new My Signatures launch. So in our product, we do e-signatures on Engagement Letter Wizard, as well as our 8879 modules. But what we heard from our existing clients as well as prospects was, I still have to use a standalone e-signature platform for one-off documents. I still have to keep instances of this tool. Not anymore. We launched our brand new My Signatures, which allows you to send any document and obtain e-signatures on that document. And with that, we've already seen existing clients start to decommission some of those other disparate e-sign tools, making it much more simpler internally for your team members to know what tool to use because there's only one. And this is really a big contribution into our mission, which is to consolidate your tech stack. And then lastly, I do want to just mention PBC. This is a module that's been in place for you to, set templates, request documents for your entity as well as your audit templates. We've done some fantastic enhancements around this, including the auto routing of attachments that are provided to you to files and folders in the Files tab of the workspace, as well as implementing database and folder level security. So if you have multiple PBC requests in a hierarchy or a family of entities, you can have different security by PBC at the client level. And as those files are being uploaded into folders, you now have folder level security so that one person doesn't need to see everything in terms of what you're requesting from them individually. And then John, I'll let you speak to some of the AI summarization elements that we've included in PBC.
Yeah, there's a lot we're going to be doing around. We're doing it around AI, and we'll be doing more in 2025. But the one thing that we're doing now with the PBC is as documents are uploaded into HubSync, we have an AI summarization capability. So there's a column inside the PBC that actually summarizes a document. So if you got a lengthy contract or something that might have been uploaded into HubSync, you'll see a nice summarization of all the documents that are put to the right. And we're excited about a lot of things that are coming with Gen AI, with intelligent search and some other things that we'll talk about in 25. And really, as I look at this slide, Tiffany, I'm just thankful for all the feedback that our clients gave us that really helped us shape this, particularly the new tax organizer and return delivery experience. We've had a number of clients that have been using our current organizer for a number of years. They've been very happy with it, but we've gotten a lot of great client feedback. So we're excited to talk a little bit more about the new flow, which I think is really, really intuitive. And one of the things that we're really focused on is just user experience, having the products be easy to use, and really kind of elevating the overall client experience for your clients. So we're excited about a lot of the capabilities. We also heard loud and clear just the ability to share files through a plugin. We're going to also be adding an e-sign capability to the plugin as well. So a lot of firms are using products like ShareFile and kind of asked us, can you increase some of the functionality and features inside of HubSync? So we're excited that we were able to do that this year.
Absolutely. All right, next, I'd really would like to take us into just a sneak peek of our new tax organizer and our return delivery experience. Existing clients on the call today, it's launched. We're going to be doing demos with all of our firms this week, so we can do walkthroughs in your environment. If you're not an existing client, feel free to reach out. Love to do the full end-to-end demo for you of this. But really what we heard based on feedback here and there was the process is disparate. Inside of a firm, you might use one tool to do your engagement letter. You might use another tool to data collect, get the documentation for the individual organizer, or even on the entity side, as we speak to that too. And then you're delivering the return through an entirely different module. So for your clients, if you can only imagine how confusing that is, multiple logins, multiple points of communication. So we've launched an entire end-to-end experience, all HubSync, that starts with a step-by-step process beginning with your engagement letter. We have our engagement letter wizard. It's the most popular module inside of HubSync. Via the integration with our HubSync engagement letter wizard, if you haven't received that signature yet, client logs into their workspace to fill out their organizer, they're going to see it. And they're going to be able to sign that engagement letter directly from in their workspace without having to go find the link or having you to remind them again to sign it. Unfortunately, we're still seeing signatures on engagement letters come tax return delivery time or with the 8879. I know people smile when I say that, but it still happens. So this is really another great effort, a great touch point to get that engagement letter signed. Next, you're going to be able to launch those tax organizers. So getting the questionnaire out, the detail of the organizer. Feedback we heard here overall was just minor things. We want the ability to check the questionnaire all yes or all no. We incorporated that into our tax questionnaire. Giving you the flexibility to also be able to edit questions has been included. And then we'll move into completing the actual text organizer and uploading documents. We've already had the integration with tax compliance software systems to be able to pull that document request list out. That's there, right? But feedback we heard from our existing clients was, as I'm uploading documents either via the mobile app or via the web, they look like they're disappearing. Nope, everything's in there in the UI. There's tracking. We had comment capability before, but it was a little buried. That was feedback we responded to. We listened. We heard you. Now you can comment anywhere on the organizer. Prints very nicely in the print settings. They'll move it into completing their income, their deductions and credits. We launched our travel calendar this year. That wasn't on the slide, but the travel calendar for expatriate type clients has been very well received too. We incorporated a concept of required sections versus hidden. So depending on how they respond to questions in the questionnaire, or if they have prior year data associated with a given section, that merits that section as now required. The rest is not hidden fully from the user interface, but it's kind of out of the way. That's going to help you increase adoption, make this process less, and there's progress tracking across the questionnaire, across the organizer, so that they can feel, yes, I'm 50, 60, 70% of the way done. This isn't going to take me as long as I thought. And then we get into the back end part of the process with the end-to-end, right? The return delivery. So being able to deliver the return, have them review it, sign their 8879s from directly within the workspace. There's no link taking you out of HubSync. They can do it directly from inside of their workspace, seeing any payment vouchers, estimated payment vouchers, along with reminder emails throughout the way.
I think the other thing, Tiffany, that the clients ask for is you see that little comment icon to the right, is being able to just comment back and forth. at the page level, different pages in the organizer. We had a general comments area, state comments, and overall comments area. But one of the feedback items we got from clients is, hey, can I comment specifically on parts of the organizer? And if you want to, you can include the printed comments when you print the organizer as well.
Absolutely. All right, we talked about our Outlook plugin. This is directly available within the web application as well as the desktop application. The Outlook plugin is doing two major functions. It's going to give you the ability to send files and request files, both actions. When you do that, it's very simple to just drag and drop full folders or files directly from your desktop or another location into the app, or browse out to find what you're looking for. You'll be able to select a HubSync workspace in which that file needs to go to. And this is true for requesting documents as well. You're picking the client workspace so that when they upload files, they're dropped directly into that client's workspace for you, and you're notified. We also implemented different password configuration settings. So if your IT team would prefer to mandate that you have a password set with complexity, that's available. And then you can set an expiration. Do you want the link to expire in 7 days, 30 days, or not at all? That's available. And again, you're notified when they access the link. Insert the link from email and click send. This is a great tool to use if you have a user that is not in HubSync, right? Maybe this is somebody working with the client, a third party, a wealth management advisor, or maybe this is somebody who's just not active. They're in a leadership level at the client. They're not a very day-to-day HubSync user. This is a way to give them access to a file or request a file without having to drive them into the workspace.
The other thing that we're seeing our clients do is create a My Workspace for each individual firm employee. So if they just want to ad hoc share files from their own My Workspace and expire those links, you can set different expiration periods for each of the links as well. You can tie a shared folder or file to a client workspace, or you can share it through your My Workspace as well.
All right, this brings us to shared links. So if you are inside of a workspace, as you're requesting documents, as you're sharing documents, auto-routing documents into the Files tab of that client's workspace, you can now just right-click to create one or more shared links. It's important. You can have multiple shared links on a single folder or files set with different rules. So what that means is you're able to say, I want to create a link. Again, the password configuration, your IT team may require you to set a complex password. That's available. You can set an expiration, choose a password, but I can choose a different password for two different people and have different links with different expirations going. Another really neat thing about this is once you have a shared link, you're going to be able to have visibility into that shared link via an icon on the file and or folder to be able to show you have a link here. You might want to review it. If the client didn't access your link for a while and you forgot the password you gave them, it's pretty neat. You can go right in and see the password that you set. All right, then we'll get into our My Signatures capability. So as I mentioned, we've already had e-signature capability with our engagement letter wizard module, our 8879 tax return delivery module, but to request or get signatures on any other type of document, you had to use another tool. Not required anymore. We launched My Signatures, which gives you the ability to upload any document into HubSync and automatically place your signature, date, and other types of fields, meaning you can do initials, you can do free-form text, you can do pick list, by signer. Very simple. Once you're sending these out, you have a full tracking grid to be able to track the status of any document in process. Neat thing about this is from a security standpoint, administrators in HubSync have visibility into everything that's happening organizationally. This is a current problem in our industry with ad hoc e-signature tools where you do not know what documents are being sent, for why, what templates are they using. Administrators will have global tracking and visibility, but for a lesser role with lesser privilege, they only need to see their own so that they're not seeing other team members, other partners, other offices. They're only tracking their own signatures.
I'd say this is probably, Tiffany, one of the #1 requests we got this year is there's so many firms that have different e-signature products. You stated correctly, lack of tracking and reporting at a firm level. And so, we'll be able to provide all of this. And I mentioned earlier, we're really excited too about adding the e-sign capability to our Outlook plugin as well, to be able to get an attachment, be able to sign it directly from Outlook, send it back, and have it tracked here as well. So we'll be adding the My Signatures capability to the Outlook plugin in Q1 25 as well, which is really exciting.
Yep. And question just came through on the chat. Will this be tied to the OPI e-sign feature when it's ready? Yeah.
Yes, it will.
Absolutely. All right. So that was 2024 in a very, very small nutshell compared to other features. As John mentioned, I can't stress it enough. We do 2-week releases, which is just unheard of, I think, in the industry at this point. So even with these big feature enhancements, any smaller items that our clients are asking for, they're seeing them in a short window or short time frame. And this kind of leads us into what's next for HubSync. Here's what we did. Here's what we've done. Where are we going? So we talked about an entirely new organizer and tax return delivery experience that was launched today. That is just version 1. We are not stopping. We're not holding back. Over the course of the next several weeks, we are going to build on top of this experience, which does include a launch on the entity side. It includes other features, other enhancements based on feedback, but it will also include entities, which is very important. This does incorporate K1 distribution, which is a highly sought after enhancement by our existing firms. The second is very near and dear to my heart. It is what we are calling our last mile automation, and it is the first trigger-based automation on a path to what we are calling dynamic workflows. So I want to explain further. We currently have 3 modules out of a dozen modules in our platform that I'm going to talk about here. Our 8879 tax return delivery module, which is collecting e-signatures. Then we have our workflow module, which is either used natively to track workflow or it's integrated with a workflow tool to pull data and write back data to push changes to workflow. The third tool is our e-file integration to read in e-file data and release tax returns. What we're doing here is we're going to do a trigger-based automation between all 3. When the 8879 e-file authorization forms are received, we are going to run a validation between workflow deliverables and jurisdictions, between e-file jurisdictions that have been uploaded or ready to be released, and give you a pass-fail monitorization. All that means is if I have a Texas form uploaded and I have a Texas deliverable in my workflow, I better have a Texas signed e-file form. So it's going to do a really nice validation, and it's going to automatically release the return, and it'll automatically update workflow for e-file tracking, submission IDs, etc. This goes beyond anything in the industry that we've seen so far. We do have a handful of firms that I've talked with, John I've talked with, that have done a wonderful job creating their own automations, either using RPA or other, but it doesn't always include this validation check, which is extremely important to firms. So kudos to those that have done automation thus far. This is just taking that a step further, and it's one of what will be many trigger-based dynamic workflow automation. So John, maybe you can talk about kind of where we're going in general with this.
Yeah, as a tech guy, I'm very excited about this. And anybody on the call that's IT or CIO related, I think you will be too. But one of the other things that we want to be able to provide, we're doing a ton of integrations right now, HubSync with Workday and SAP and Iris products and other products, right? And a lot of clients are aggressively using our developer portal and using our APIs. What we really want to do is even further empower our clients to build their own dynamic workflows within HubSync. So if you use a product like Workday and want to do a trigger-based automation with all the APIs that exist in HubSync, you'll have actually an embedded low-code UI inside of HubSync where you can build your own dynamic workflows and have things happen in HubSync that talk to your own tech stack and your own systems as well. So while we are happy to help from a development perspective, we're really excited about putting the power of these dynamic workflow in our clients' hands and allowing them to build some of the dynamic integrations that we're really excited about.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. The next thing I want to talk about is intelligent document processing. So we consider ourselves an end-to-end, right, automation tool for firms. But when we look at this from a tax perspective, especially, there's still a middle piece that feels disconnected in our product. And all that means is when clients are uploading documents, they're giving you their W-2s, their 1099s, K-1s, etc. You're taking those documents and moving them through another OCR process to be able to lift, extract the numbers, and push those into the tax software. We will be launching and working towards a fully developed intelligent document processing method, where as these documents are being uploaded, we're going to extract the numbers, the amounts. We're going to layer in a state of verification. There will be an internal preparer processing review screen for you to actually see all of these amounts, numbers off the face of the forms, whether standard or non-standard. We'll be able to lift and extract values off of non-standard tax forms as well. And then incorporating all of our tax organizer data. So did they enter charitable contributions, medical expenses, and so on. All of that will be in the face of the HubSync user interface, allowing you to review and push that into the tax software, eliminating yet another tool and another step in a manual process.
This is probably, Tiffany, I think the number one, well, this and document management are probably the top two, I think, that we hear most frequently from our clients. So this one's exciting. We often are asked the question, well, you're getting all these documents into HubSync. Why can't you lift the data off? We're really excited about a combination of OCR and LLMs and AI technology to get to very high accuracy on this. And we've had great success thus far testing this out, and we're excited to bring this to market later next year.
All right, Engagement Letter Wizard. Engagement Letter Wizard is just a hot module. As I mentioned, it's the most popular module. I think over the course of the last couple of years, we've built a great foundation, which is proven through the execution and use currently in platform. But now it's ready to just give it the next best thing, which is incorporating AI. And we'll start by doing natural language search or queries to allow you to find data not only on top of the engagement letter tracking data, but inside of the letters. So think if you could just run a natural language search that says, show me all of my engagement letters that had a retainer over X dollar amount, or how many are on an estimated fee arrangement. You'll be able to ask those questions and generate these queries in reports using natural language.
There's a lot of things coming on ELW too, Tiffany. I know you want to talk about it. We only have a few more minutes, but AI is definitely something big, but this is probably an area where we're getting a ton of feature requests from our clients, which is great. So we're actually actively enhancing the application now, have quite a bit planned for Q1. We're really excited about this product, and we do think adding AI capability into it and that intelligent search is really going to be value added for our clients. So, and give them more intelligence over the corpus of engagement letters that they have in our system.
Agree. And document management, it's a hot topic. It comes up on every client visit that we have, most prospect calls that we're meeting with. Document management, because what does everyone say, John? Wow, you're almost there. You have, we've got the file sharing, we have the structure. It makes a lot of sense for our product, and I know this is close to your heart, John.
Yeah, I mean, we're driving towards this with what you saw with the shared links and the API integration. This is something I built in the Big Four. I'm very passionate about this. I mean, we hear document management as a consistent pain point. People have documents stored in different systems, whether it be casework or file room. We often see network drives. So we have documents being dispersed across the firm, and then you want to try to find something. Search, we keep hearing, is broken. So we'll have a very intelligent search on top of the document management system as well. And for us, we're excited because typically we do a lot of integrations between HubSync and a document management system. As documents come in through HubSync as a client portal, having to push those documents into some other DM system, it'll be much simpler for us, obviously, to talk to ourselves, have a workspace folder that sits in the document management system, allow our clients to quickly drag documents into that system and portal to be able to share more easily, folder level, file level security, co-editing. We'll have all the bells and whistles that I know everybody would want. And really, our goal is for this, like our engagement letter product, to be a contextual solution for the CPA industry. Having been in this industry for a long time, we know the pain points and we know what people want from a document management system. So this one's near and dear to my heart. We're excited to bring this live. Hopefully, the goal is later next year.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think I just kind of want to close up with saying that we covered, I think, just big picture items. We're not covering the day-to-day work that we're doing for our existing clients. And I also want to say that we are extremely open and responsive to feedback. So our clients, those that we're meeting with every day, you're helping drive this. So just stay opinionated. Please remain vocal. Tell us what you're looking for. Tell us what your needs are, because we'd love to add to this list and just continue being a partner, versus just a vendor.
100% agree with that.
And we
Are there
have a
any
few
questions?
questions.
Any
I do. We have a
questions?
few
Yeah.
questions.
Okay. Great.
One of them is, what is next for triggers after last mile automation? Is there something coming after that?
Yeah, there's definitely a list of a few. We've talked about, once the engagement letter is signed, does that kick off something like an organizer? I want to go ahead. I have my signed engagement letter, launch my organizer. That's a trigger. Once my organizer, the client says, send a tax preparer, they're done. Do we need to move the workflow status into an assembly or scanning queue or pool? Anything that you need to pick up and do manually based on an event could be considered an automation trigger that we would want to do in this process.
Same thing with our work papers, right, Tiffany? As someone's going through the work papers from prep to review, having those automatically trigger to the workflow, so you're not having to say, hey, it's going from prep to review, having all these triggers happen inside the product Etsy, and also with other systems too. So we're doing a lot of integrations now with ERP systems, a lot more with CRMs. The dynamic workflows in this product that we've got embedded in HubSync will allow us to do a lot more out of the box integrations with a lot less work.
Right.
Agreed.
Very exciting.
I think the idea or the traditional sense of workflow is starting to disseminate or evaporate. What we've known up until this point in time of what a workflow tool should do, that's going away, because as these things become more automated, what truly is left for your workflow tool to do? And that's something else that we've been talking about heavily inside of our company, is could we achieve those other pieces that are remaining after just streamlining the rest?
Yep.
Great. And I can answer this one. Someone asked, how do I get more information on this? So we can disseminate this slide deck for all the participants, but also look for more information on LinkedIn in your newsletters, and also some news stories that are coming out, press releases with regard to all of these. So keep your eyes peeled for the information as it comes out through the rest of this December and then also into January. We're going to put this information out because we're as excited about it as you are. So we want to make sure everyone has all the right information. So with that, we wish everyone a very happy holidays, a wonderful new year. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions, and we will see you next year. Here's to an easy, busy season.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.